So I'll call the St. Cloud Metropolitan Transit Commission Board to order Tuesday, June 19th. It's 4 o'clock. And let the record reflect that all commissioners are here with the exception of Sauk Rapids. So, is there any additions or changes to the agenda? I just want to add one thing to it, and that would be under general business 14, and that's the contract for the executive director or CEO. So, and Brian's bringing the copies of it, so you'll have time to, between now and the end of the meeting, breeze through it. So there's not much difference, only one change.
Move to approve as amended.
Second.
Discussion, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries. The consent agenda, items 5 through 8.
Move to approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Open forum. Is there anybody here to speak from the open forum?
No, I believe so, no.
Oh, nobody signed up for the open forum?
Nope.
Oh, okay. All right. Just trying to stall a little bit.
I know, I was gonna say, Dave is gonna present.
Okay, yeah, I know we have on recognition, but I was trying to see if your CEO would be here at the same time, so.
I'll
Skip to 11.
So we could go to, yeah, we can go to 11. Why don't we do that? We'll skip to 11 and talk about the personnel policies.
Sure. Good afternoon, Commissioners. You would have had in your packet 2 different documents. One, for the first document, had some policies specific to Chapter 1, Introduction, Chapter 3, Work Rules and Code of Conduct, and Chapter 16, General Employment Provisions. Chapter 1 and Chapter 3 are pretty short and self-explanatory. Chapter 16, General Employment Provisions, has a number of just different basic employment policies that don't really fall into any specific chapter. And so it's just kind of a catch-all for everything that isn't covered under its own chapter. Did anybody have any questions about anything that was covered? Is there anything you wanted me to speak to specifically on that document? Then the second document that was attached was the FTA drug and alcohol policy, which basically, we reviewed the policy that we had in place, made sure that any recent changes under FTA are reflected within this new policy revision. Did anybody have any questions regarding?
Where do we get our drug random testing from?
WorkMed?
And then is that who sends us the names of these people, or how do we pick?
Our internal MetroNet system does all of our random generating
Just by
for
random,
us.
you just push a button and it comes up with 5 names or whatever? Okay.
Yep, so it has the percentages built into it in the background. Once a month, we have it generate the random list.
Okay.
And then we schedule based on that list.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any questions from anybody?
Is there any audit on that? So that, is there
Well, it's
controls in
reviewed-
place so that,
It's reviewed as part of our triennial report every 3 years by the FTA.
okay.
And it doesn't throw my name out of there if I had it last month. I could come up again this month.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
2 commissioners in there?
Specifically.
We want to get on that program. That's the drinking program.
Check.
Any other
Okay,
questions?
no other questions? Okay. Seeing none, we'll revert back to item, we just did the consent, and we had that agenda item on there, so when you got those, so.
Okay, perfect.
And then, so we'll go back to item number 9.
Oh, did I do
Oh,
a certificate?
Oh,
Do we
Yeah.
Do we have to
Yeah.
vote on the
Yep.
policy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
We do.
okay.
Okay.
Um,
Second.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11 is approved, so we'll revert back to item 9. Oh, no, I signed it, but I don't, did I bring it with me? No, it's still on your table.
Oh, be right back. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Okay, so why don't we have a recognition, so why don't we have our honoree come on up, because there'll be a certificate.
That's your time. That's yours.
We have a little recognition here, and come into the court of honor. And Brian, you want to give a little?
Yes, so
little
Chair and
speech
Commissioners,
there?
we have Todd Deseric. He competed nationally at the 2018 Community Transportation of Association America National Bus Rodeo. 65 people competed. Todd came in third. And with that, he brings the
Wow.
trophy.
Well,
As you
congratulations.
remember last year, Todd came in first place
I remember that,
in
yeah.
Detroit, but this year, still okay, still good for
Remember
Metrobus.
seeing him on the way to an
Still safest
airport.
operator in St.
Or
Cloud.
on the way to security line.
Right, we was really excited, had the chance to be there, showcase Todd's talent. We have the video of Todd. And actually this year, the course is actually indoors, which was unique. In the Pittsburgh Convention Center, they actually had the rodeo course indoors, which was different. Actually, it was good because it rained all day in Pittsburgh, so I guess it was like perfect planning. A year ago, the planning department figured that, hey, it's gonna rain this day, let's have it indoors, and it worked out perfect, so. With that, Todd came in third place. I'd like to congratulate Todd on behalf of the Board of Commissioners. Todd, congratulations.
Thank you.
For coming in third.
Thank you.
Here's your trophy. You can take it home today.
Congrats.
Oh, get ready for our photos.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, congrats.
Doing that again? We going down?
Yeah, we gotta come back, we gotta come down there and
Everyone take
mess
their
up,
normal
mess up your
position.
picture.
Should have that worn in the carpet now.
You can Photoshop all of us out when you're home. Get inside. Cool. All right. All right. Hey, that's quick.
Great, you all know that I'm
That's impressive. That's good.
We knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, congrats.
Thanks
That's
for being
great.
here with me.
Yeah, awesome. I have to send you a video. Still have it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, please do. Yeah.
We want to see a picture of your whole wall.
I was there Thursday through Sunday. They were supposed to go with us. But then he got this trip, so
So congratulations.
backed out on us.
That's cool to have folks that we know
Yeah,
that are.
and he actually won the local rodeo here locally, so he's going to Duluth next month to compete statewide. So if Todd finishes first in the state level next month in Duluth, then he'll be able to go to Palm Springs next year.
Oh.
Okay, that's for the 2019
Well, I
rodeo.
think
Yeah.
that would be someplace.
Be a little better than Pittsburgh.
Cheering on.
Commissioner should be.
Yeah, it's a commissioner trip.
And that'll be outdoors, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So good luck to you, Todd, at the rodeo next month.
Good luck.
to you.
Have a good night, Joe.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So next we have Sean Pierce. Sean Pierce is one of our street supervisors, and since 2005, he has been heavily involved here locally with the Metrobus local rodeo, but also statewide with the MIPTA, Minnesota Public Transit Association rodeo. I know one year Berta had the opportunity to join Sean on the rodeo committee when we actually hosted here in St. Cloud back in 2015 when we had the Wings and Wheels event, which you actually beat me.
Oh, yeah, I
That year
remember.
we had
Right,
the-
that bus, it's right, I remember that.
But Sean's passion for the rodeo goes well beyond words. Sean is just dedicated. He's really passionate about the rodeo. He takes it seriously. I remember one year we was in St. Paul and it was raining that day. We were out marking the course. Like, Ryan, mark it heavy. It's raining, you gotta mark it heavy, chart the course. And now Sean is just really passionate about the rodeo. So I just want to just recognize Sean on behalf of the Board of Commissioners and Metrobus for the good work that he's doing, just for all the logistics that takes to putting the rodeo together, not just locally, but statewide, representing Metrobus on that state level. So Sean, congratulations.
Yeah.
Let's give you a token of our appreciation.
Again.
Oh, yeah.
Should have stayed down there.
And one more feat. Now, we did have an admin rodeo, and guess who won? Sean. So Dave, you have competition now.
We'll have a board rodeo then.
Yeah, we're fine, right?
Yeah, you go inside.
Yeah, go inside, outside.
Remember, okay, gotta, I'll shift this way a little.
Oh, I have to get out of the mirror.
Yes,
Oh, you gotta move this way.
yes.
There we go.
All right, everybody smile and look at me. 1, 2, 3.
Uh-oh.
1, 2, 3. Oh, smile. There.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yep, yep.
All right.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Exercise at this meeting.
Get our exercise.
All right. Congratulations. Great to see, and we'll continue on to our general business. Item number 12. Consideration of capital assets and depreciation policy.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We've updated the capital asset and depreciation policy based on new standards through the FTA as well as state requirements. So they actually are requiring us to have 3 different types of plans. We have to have a capital asset and depreciation plan, we have to have a transit asset management plan, and a state of good repair plan. So those will be coming in the next couple months, the other 2. But this is kind of the start of that. The biggest change that we've made is that we actually have a depreciation schedule now. We didn't have an official one prior to this. And we've also changed the capitalization threshold from 2,000 to 5,000, which is really the standard as to where that's at. So those are kind of the 2 biggest changes for this policy.
Any, is there a motion? Do we have to?
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, is there a discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, consideration of the 2019 budget proposal and tax levy.
We are up to the fun, exciting time of budget, right?
Yeah, kind of sets the mood for all the rest of us in our cities.
Yeah. So the biggest items, just kind of worth mentioning, which were in the memo that you were sent along with the budget summary. All the wages based on the 2 union contracts were set to have an increase of 3.0% for next year cost of living. And then non-union employees, that was also built in for the 2019 budget, is the 3%. Step increases are built in, which had been approved. Non-union step increases had been approved back in 2015. And then the union steps are also included in here, which had been agreed upon in the union contracts. A couple other things, the training and safety department and planning departments, we started those departments about a year ago. They were 100% funded by MnDOT. It was called their New Starts Grant. That's going to expire now as of June 30th, 2019. So part of the budget recognizes that 100% funding for those 2 departments, but then the final quarter of 2019, it kind of just gets built back into operations. So overall, we have a total increase of, sorry about that, but we're requesting an increase in the levy amount going from, last year's amount was 3.05% to this year we're requesting a levy of 3.87%, which is less than 1%. It's a 0.82% increase. Back in 2015, based on what the market value was at that time, we actually had an approved prelim levy of 3.56. The final levy came in at 3.46. Back then, since 2015, the market values of all 4 cities are, back then it was 5.9 billion, no, excuse me, yeah, 5.9 billion for the market value, and now it's at 6.854. So it's an increase of $931 million within that time in the market value of the 4 cities. And our increase in the levy amount for that same time period is about $673,000. So that's the difference. Net tax capacity value back in 2015 was 71 million. In 2018, it's 81 million, so about a $9.7 million increase in net tax capacity value for the 4 cities. So we are looking at increasing, or we're requesting an increase of $673,000 in the levy, again, going from 3.05 last year to 3.87 this year. Questions?
We'll start open up for questions.
Move to approve.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So
Thank you, Commissioners.
keep getting paid.
We appreciate that.
So, we'll move to item number 14, which is the additional, hopefully you've had a chance, you don't need to probably read a lot, there's no, this is our extension for our CEO, for Ryan's 5-year contract. And Rick and I, we were asked to be on a subcommittee, and despite Rick's not wanting to go 5 years, are we arm wrestled? No, actually.
I thought 5 months might be.
5 months might be, that's right. He was trying to get that into 5 months or 5 days, and between the two of us, we got into 5 years. No, we agreed to what you have in front of you in its entirety. You took that
Peace out.
Yep,
that's all.
so this is, the agreement is exactly the same as it was 5 years ago, with the exception of, we added in section 10, which is, adds in an additional week of vacation, after the 5 years, and it's clearly reasonable, and really, I can speak from as a board member, you've done a great job, great leadership, and we're happy to see you be willing to extend. So we're see a tremendous amount of a lot of things have changed. You've got a lot of new folks, and really have created a new energy challenge, and Rick and I both probably, because we've traveled on some of those journeys to some of the, you're well known when we go, and I've been along with those. So that connectivity, I think, at the national and that level is helpful when it comes to some of the grants. And of course, we're very dependent on federal and state funds, and we're really, I think you and your team have done really. Even looking at the historical aspect of the levy, and I think it's reflective of the trust and the aspect of it. Folks get a pretty good bang for the buck. That's just speaking on behalf of the board. I think that's our willingness to bring this forward. Of course, we haven't voted on it yet. It might just be one to. I might have just killed the whole thing for you.
Was in favor of it.
That's what that was. That's in front of us. So, any discussion on the contract renewal as actually not as amended, as in front of you, I guess.
Clarification: Section 10 is the only change from.
Yeah, Section 10 is the only change. We're going to probably. There was one area that we were discussing in our subcommittee, and that is for the position itself, not necessarily just Ryan, but as the CEO. An aspect of travel, and what should that be? And we're looking at maybe it's a leased vehicle, maybe it's mileage, maybe it's flat rate. We're going to probably have a little bit more discussion, and probably regroup as a committee, and that would be more internal compensation, and come back with some type of policy recommendation for the position itself.
Yeah, old Metro bus or something would probably suffice.
Yeah, have my bus that you buy.
I don't know what'd be wrong with that.
I'm gonna ride it around. I'll give you a ride. I'll pick you up.
Motion to approve.
Okay, it's moved in second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations and look
Thank
forward
you
to the next
Commissioner.
5 years.
Thank you. Board. Thank you.
Departmental updates. We'll move right into, oh, I guess I called that was 13A, not 14. Because this next one's 14, our IT department update.
The Chair, Commissioners, wanted to give you an update on a couple of projects that we've been working on in our IT department. Back in March of 2017, we actually came before the board. We had done a software RFP at the time. We wanted to do an entire enterprise software solution. And at that time, we did not receive any responses that fit everything, so we decided to do our software into 2 phases. Our first phase was scheduling and timekeeping, and at that time, in March of 17, you gave us approval to move ahead with that software. That project, we're probably about 50% done with that project right now, and our estimated completion date is early 2019. And also as part of that, we said we would be coming back for what we're calling internally our Phase 2 software. So we did submit another RFP in January of 2018, and we received 3 really qualified responses. We've reviewed those responses and we've selected a vendor, and we're currently in the process of negotiating the contract with that vendor. It is our expectation that next month we'll be bringing that before you for approval. But I just wanted to give you an update as to where we're at and let you know you can expect that next month. So,
Good.
any questions?
Questions on that? All right, seeing none, no action needing to be taken. Is there anything else you got, Ryan?
I just want to take a moment to recognize Paula Massey in the finance department, just in the hard work that Paula took to manage the budget, for this year, and just was actually successfully able to, propose the budget to the commission, and the commission approved the budget. I'd just like to say thank you for managing Metrobus's finances. You do an awesome job. One thing I remember with Paula, revenue always have to exceed expenses. And,
that's a good finance.
If I don't know anything about finance, I know one thing: revenue has to exceed expenses. And in the last couple of weeks, Paul and I met behind the scenes, behind closed doors, just looking at what's in the best interest for Metrobus. So we had to do a lot of cuts and keeping the tax levy in mind. We don't want to raise the levy higher than what if we didn't need to. But this 3.86, 3.87 is to the hard work of Paula. And I just want to say, Paula, thank you for just managing Metrobus's finances, making those cuts that we needed to make, so we could continue to be fiscally sound with taxpayers' dollars, the city's dollars. And Paula, on behalf of Metrobus, thank you so much, because revenue always exceeds expenses. With this budget, I am 150% certain that revenue would exceed expenses at the end of this fiscal year, or the next fiscal year, the budget that the commission just approved. So Paula, thank you for your hard work, dedication. I know you put in a lot of hours, 40, 50 hours just trying to manage this budget. The weekend days you came in. Thank you on behalf of Metrobus, and thank you for bringing that budget forth, and thank you, Commissioner, for approving that budget. Paula, just testament to the great work that you have in the finance department. Thank you on behalf of Metrobus. Okay? So I just want to recognize Paula.
Thank you.
Pleasure doing business.
All right. Well, with seeing
I didn't see you raising our salary, did you?
Yeah. We could travel a lot.
That was one of the cuts.
Guy's gonna pick up in his new car. Tesla. That's what we're going to electric.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed? We are adjourned at